Have you ever felt that nothing in your life is actually wrong? Like nothing is falling apart. You didn't lose your job. You're not broke. Like things are actually pretty good. But somehow you feel like you're barely keeping your head above water. Like you're just barely surviving. You're just barely swimming. But from the outside, it doesn't look like that. But from the inside, it feels like that. That's what it feels like. I call this the invisible survival mode. And I was definitely stuck in it for a little while. I talked about it in the last episode on like being in the bridge of two different identities. And it felt like I was just shifting identities with all the changes that had happened in my life recently. But also, it's a survival mode. Like it's your nervous system just surviving. So I want to talk about that in this episode, just in case there's other people that are going through the same thing and having these feelings and kind of thought like myself, where didn't want to admit that it was survival mode because it felt like a weakness. Like I had a few people tell me, "Oh, you're just surviving," and I'm like, "No, I'm not," because it didn't feel like that. Because I was being productive. Like things were still getting done. The kids were still being fed. The house was still clean. I was doing the laundry. I was like still accomplishing all the lively tasks. We were going out. I was hanging out with people, responding to messages. I was laughing, and I'm like, my life isn't miserable. And to me, in my head, I'm like, survival mode is anxiety, it's panic attacks, it's depression, it's crying all the time, it's sulking in bed. Like that's what I thought being in survival mode was. I didn't realize that survival mode can be truly none of that, but it can be the feeling of just like flatlining. Like you're just living every day to live every day, and there's no not excitement, there's no inspiration, there's no motivation, there's no daydreaming about what's to come next and like chasing these goals and the fire that's lit inside of you, and you're like creating content and living your best life. Like that's not what it is, or that's not what it feels like, but that's maybe what it still looks like from the outside looking in. But that's where I was. That's what I where I feel like I have been, and I've been cracking myself out of there and like breaking the shell of this survival mode and this new identity. And I just want to talk to the person that's in there right now, that's like in the survival mode and is maybe afraid to admit it or afraid to ask for help or don't know how to get yourself out of it and like what to do. You're maybe starting to feel bad that you're in this space, because there was a couple days that I genuinely was like, is there something wrong with me? Because like nothing is wrong in my life, but I just feel flatlined. But everything is fine. Like my life is not miserable, nor do I want to admit that I'm in survival mode because I feel like it's a weakness. I felt like it was victim mentality. And if you're anything like me, you probably think the same thing, or you think like, you don't want to be a victim. We're not victims. We know we're not victims. But then why do we not feel our best? And if you're not sure this is you, but you're kind of questioning it, ask yourself, when you're living your day, are you excited about things to come up? Are you doom scrolling for no reason? Like, what is your screen time? Because when I'm in my survival mode, my screen time is way too high. If you don't know, I have two under two. I'm a mom of two, which is not for the weak to have two under two. But I'm like excited for the kids to go for their nap so that I can have time by myself to like do things or whatever. And then the nap time would come, and I'd be like, what am I going to do? I would just sit there. Like, I wouldn't want to do anything. I'm just like hanging out. I clean the house. I prep dinner, but I'm not like doing anything different for myself to create that inspiration. Are you checking your phone all the time? Like you're waiting for something, but you're not really sure what you're waiting for. You're not celebrating the wins. You're not being consistent. You're feeling a little bit guilty also for like not doing more, but you don't know what more you should be doing. I can't tell you how many times I told my ChatGPT that, because if you don't know, I use chat, and well, I've been switching over to Claude now because I feel like it's a little bit better. My sister-in-law inspired me to this thing where you just like share your thoughts to your AI, to Claude chat, whatever, and then you say like don't respond. So for an entire week and a half, every time I would get a thought about business, about how I was feeling, about content, about motivation, like all of these things, I would just like ramble off these thoughts, and I'd be like, okay, don't respond yet. And then at the end of the time frame when I thought I was ready, I'm like, okay, give me the best advice you can give me based off everything that I've shared. Don't be afraid to hurt my feelings. Just like raw, real, whatever. If you want to help me create a new schedule or a new timeline, like whatever you think I need based on what I've said to make my life better and elevate my life, tell that to me now. And my sister-in-law got a phenomenal response from her Claude. Mine was not what I was hoping for, but it was still fabulous in the sense of what it had said to me, and kind of just like summarized my ideas and my thoughts, and definitely did say a few things that I needed to hear. But I couldn't tell you how many times I had said to it, I just feel guilty, like I'm supposed to be doing more, but I don't know what more I should be doing. So I'm just waiting, but I don't know what I'm waiting for. Like I'm just here. I'm just living my day every day to live the next day. And looking back, something that helped me kind of crack out of the survival mode was doing that exercise. I'm not gonna lie, because every time I would get these thoughts, and for a solid 4 days in a row, the only entry I had into it was literally that of like, the kids go to bed and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel like I should be doing more, but I don't know what more to do other than like the housework. But I know there's more to my life and there's more potential, and like I want to be doing more, but I just don't know what to be doing. Like it sounds so silly, but it's like this loop of just like, what do I do? And you're just surviving. You're just floating. You don't have anything more to give because you feel like you're giving it all to keep your head above the water. From the outside, look like it's all perfect, to keep the kids fed, to keep the house in order. That all of that is taking up all of your energy. And it's not a weakness. Being in survival mode is a strength. Was I've come to realize this as I'm realizing that I was in survival mode for a little bit there. It's a strength. It's proving that you can do challenging things. It does not make you weak. You are not weak. If anything, you are 10 times stronger because you can survive and live in this invisible survival mode while still being madly productive and have the feelings that you have. That is the biggest strength ever. That your world is not crumbling, though you can feel like you're crumbling on the inside, but you're still doing the things and you're still showing up. And I promise you, it's temporary. The survival mode is temporary. And here's a few things that I did that have really helped me over the past 2 weeks emerge from that and kind of break free. That take with a grain of salt. If it works for you, amazing. If it doesn't, I really pray that you find something that can help you break out of that. But the one thing that I did was Claude taught this exercise with chat because it made me admit things. And as you're talking and flowing through why you feel the way that you feel, or these ideas and these, you're like journaling, it becomes easier to see the bigger picture. It becomes easier to see things because you can't really see things until you vocalize them, until you put them out and lay it all on the table. Then you can be like, I know why a little bit more. Or you can start to put the puzzle pieces together on the thoughts that you're having. So I think that was number one, is it was allowing the cracks to begin. The second thing was keep away from people that drain your energy and spend more time with the people that fill your energy up. The one person for me that always energizes me is my mom. I love my mom. I have a wonderful mom and I'm so grateful for that. Like, she is my mom and my dad because I do not have a dad anymore and he left when I was super young. So my mom is like my rock and she is the best. But every time I see her, she's so immensely supportive about anything that I do. Even when I was, going to go travel around in the school bus and create a house out of a bus, she was like, absolutely, Dakota, you do it. I know you can. So my mom is somebody that always fills my cup back up. And over this past month, these past couple weeks more specifically, I've spent a lot of time with her, and I think that has helped me so much, just being around somebody that can fill my energy back up with zero guilt, with just 100% support. So I pray whoever that is in your life, find somebody like that, a friend, a family member, a coworker, somebody that just like can undeniably give you the support that you need with zero judgment. And just like fully encouraging and spend more time with them. So that's the second thing. Stay away from people that drain your energy. Stick with people that fill your cup back up. The other thing is get outside, touch some grass, hang out with Mother Nature, explore, go new places, do self-care. Because when you're in the survival mode, your cup is very empty, or whatever you have in your cup is usually utilized for your surviving of the family and the people around you. And if you're a mom, you're so much more prone to being stuck in survival mode because it's almost like everybody else comes first before you, but you need to come first. So take self-care, take a bath, go take yourself out on a coffee date, take time for yourself to recharge yourself back up. You don't need more hustle in order to have a breakthrough. You do not need to hustle more. You will never hustle your way out of survival mode. If anything, it's the recharging, it is the slowing down, it is the bringing back to yourself, reharmonizing and rebalancing yourself that can help you break free from the survival mode and actually leave running. But it doesn't come with hustle, and it will never come with hustle. And last but not least, instead of asking yourself what more can be done or how can I be more productive, ask if are you safe enough to be dreaming right now? When was the last time you felt excited? And what made you feel excited? What feels heavy right now? And what can you let go of that you don't need to be holding on to anymore? And are you living or are you just maintaining your life? The goal isn't to become a better survivor or become better at just keeping your head above water. It is to create a life that you don't feel like you're surviving all the time or you're surviving in. Lean on the support that's around you. Journal, talk out your thoughts. You don't hold everything inside of you. Let it out. Energy needs to flow. What you have feeling inside of you, let it out and allow yourself to be recharged back up. And when this episode is finished, don't just doom scroll again. Take some time to yourself, close your eyes, breathe, just chill for a minute. And ask yourself if you weren't in survival mode, if you were not in survival mode, what would you feel like? And what would your day be like? How would you be living? Would you be working out? Would you be doing yoga? Would you be doing affirmations? Would you be doing EFT tapping? Would you be more present? Would you be creating content? For me, I started doing affirmations, which I post on Spotify simply for myself so that I can listen to them throughout the day and it really helps. But I created a whole new list of affirmations. I recorded them and now I listen to them in the morning. And that really helped me as well, just like having them play in the background of these affirmations. But when you're recording them, also, you feel great when you're doing them. Affirmations truly do work. But what things in your life would you be doing if you were no longer in survival mode, and how can you start doing them? So, with that being said, I hope you emerge from your survival mode feeling strong and empowered and not weak that you're in survival mode, because it's so much more powerful than you realize. And the next time I see you guys, I pray that you're not in survival mode anymore. I love you. Thank you for listening to the Alchemist Babe podcast, and I will see you in the next episode.